One important side of building software is the front end. Think of the front end as the scenes of a play, right? If you're doing a theater production, this is what's going on the stage. So front end is the user interface. It's the visual layout and design of the software. So it's the buttons, the menus, the icons, colors, everything that you can see on the screen that you interact with is going to be part of the user interface. So good UI makes it easy to navigate those apps. If you've ever had trouble navigating some software, it probably means their UI is, too overwhelming, too difficult, poorly designed. Now, of course, right, there's always a balance between features. The more features you have, the harder it is to build a simple UI. So it's often created by designers. We'll talk about those different roles. The people who actually build and code those buttons, menus, icons is going to be the front end developers. So front end is kind of an umbrella term, but it also describes the person who builds these interfaces. So the UI role designs the look and style of screens, layouts, and interactive elements. They don't actually need a ton of technical skills. They're more on the design side. So a lot of UI people that I've met, they're very artsy, creative. Um, Not so much right the nerdy back end. Of course, you could be both. That's called full stack, as I'll talk about in a second. User experience. So there's the design, the look of the app, but there's also designing the feel of the app. How easy is it to move from one screen to another, to find a certain setting? That's called the user experience. How does the app feel when you're using it? Is it fun? Is it frustrating? Is it rewarding? Is it addictive? Think about the swipe, right, and the scroll. We call it the doom scroll these days. That's very intentional. Somebody designed that software so that you would be hooked to it. And that's thanks to the UX role. So it's all about usability, efficiency, satisfaction for the user. Good UX makes it intuitive and enjoyable to use that software. So you shouldn't have to think too much, right, when it comes to finding a certain feature. So poor user experience design can frustrate or confuse users. We call this sometimes cognitive load. If it takes too much brain work, right, to do something, then that could be a sign of a poor UX design. So it's a lot of research and testing. So they'll put the app in front of someone, ask them questions, right, and get some feedback. I had to do that in my software engineering role as a full stack developer. So I pretty much wore all the hats. I was UI, UX, front end, back end, because we were a smaller team. So I did have to talk to certain users and ask them, hey, how does it feel to use the app? What is something I can do to improve? So they'll research the user needs. Like I said, they'll create wireframes. So if you ever seen a storybook, or kind of how they plan out movies, they'll have like the scenes on different cards. They do the same thing with UX. So UX will have different cards or different scenes for the app, right? For the screen. So yeah, they're essentially designing the flow of the app. How do you get from one place to another? So the person who actually builds the designs from UI UX is going to be the front end developer, which was my first role. So we're going to be using technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. React was actually the one I used, which is a framework for JavaScript, to build web pages and apps. So it's going to translate the designs from the UI UX team. Sometimes you might be everything right, like myself, and translate your own designs into actual working code. So a website that actually, functions. Those buttons work, those menus work, and it's responsive. It actually performs well. So a good front end developer makes sure that the software looks good, right, as it's intended, and it works well. It's got to be efficient. It's got to be easy to use. It's got to be responsive. All those things. You don't want to see a long loading screen. You don't want to see a weird error code. You want everything to be very informative and give the user the right cues. Tell them, hey, you should click here. This is what went wrong. This is what you should do. So yeah, front end role writes and maintains code that implements the visual designs and user interactions. So this is actual technical coding. UI UX, more of the artsy creative side. So here we have on the left we have a wireframe, right? So that's the UX side, and here on the right we have the different types of interfaces that a UI person might design, and that a front end developer might actually build. So graphical user interface, that's what we typically see on PCs, right? Mobile. We have the mobile user interface, which is a subset of a GUI or graphical user interface. So often when you're building apps these days, you're actually building for the web and for mobile. So you're really building two different interfaces. That means twice the work. We have touch interfaces, gesture interface, right? You could shake your phone. Uh, you could do like a hard press now. You could swipe on it, all those kinds of things. Those are very typical of mobile devices. And now we have voice interface, right? You can even talk to your devices now.